What we have here are called rotary buffers. Now, sometimes you'll hear them referred to as a sander polisher or a circular polisher, but those are the same names for this tool, and this is a rotary buffer. Now, here's the cool things about this. This is a very powerful motor. It's inside the body right here. It runs and drives up to the gear mechanism up here. And what we call this is a direct drive polisher. And what that means is when I pull the trigger, this pad is instantly going to start spinning, and it has no slippage at all. So it's very powerful, just like that, okay? And this is the tool of choice for professional detailers who want to restore the finish on a neglected car, something with a lot of swirls, a lot of water spots, hasn't been waxed or polished for years, or in a body shop situation. Now, in a body shop situation, a lot of times after they paint a car, they're going to want to take and sand the paint flat and remove any orange peel, and then at that point they need to come back in and remove the sanding marks. And for that, they're going to want to use a rotary buffer because it's got the power to remove those sanding marks quickly. And think about it, if you've sanded out an entire car, you got a lot of buffing to do. So the tool of choice for professional detailers and people that work in body shops. Now, besides a strong motor inside the body here, they also have a couple other features. This is a variable speed setting. So what you can do is you can set the setting for the RPM you want. And I'm going to set this for 1500, and that's a pretty good average for removing defects out of paint. They have a trigger down here with the lock mechanism. What's nice about that is you can pull the trigger and then lock it in place. So the whole time you're using the polisher, you don't got to be holding the trigger, and the lock mechanism will do that for you. Now, there's also a lock mechanism up here at the head, and what that's for is you take and you push that in, and you give this a little hit like that, and you can take your backing plate and your foam pad off, or whatever pad you're using, and it'll keep this from spinning when you're trying to take that off. And all these polishers have this in common. This is called a 5/8 threaded spindle right here. And this allows you to either put on a backing plate or an attachment system to use the different pads. And this is the standard in the industry, is a 5/8 threaded spindle. And the way this works is you just take your backing plate, put it on there, align it, then give that a hit, and then I'm going to lock the mechanism again and just kind of give it a little tug, make sure it's tight. Okay, and this one's ready to start using. Now, I got 3 different full-size polishers. I have one what's called a light-duty polisher, and they all have a different handle system. This is what we call a stick handle, and you can take it off this side and put it on this side, or if you like, you could take it off and just hold the head of the unit if that's what you prefer. Now, this Makita here, this has what's called a D handle or a hoop handle. And what's unique about this Makita is this actually goes down to 600 RPM, which was pretty low. In fact, it's lower than any of these other polishers. And so when you turn this on, it's only going to be rotating at 600 RPM. And a lot of guys like to use that for their final polishing or their jeweling step when they're creating a really high shine show car finish. And this is also a wool pad. This is actually a double-sided wool cutting pad. Okay, so over here we've got the Flex. And again, this is a full-size rotary buffer, German quality craftsmanship. And again, you've got the variable speed right here where it's real handy to get to it when you're buffing. You got the lock mechanism for the trigger right here. Up here again, there's a lock mechanism to hold this thing in place. And I've actually got the 3M quick disconnect on here. And that's so you can use pads that use a centering system like that. Okay, so there's different types of attachment systems for rotary buffers. Now over here, this is something I wanted to show you. This is called the Flex Lightweight, and it gets its name because it only weighs 5 pounds. And if you're new to using a rotary buffer, a lot of times I like to recommend this one because it's so light that it's easy to learn how to control. And the secret to mastering a rotary buffer is learning to control a rotary buffer. And what's also nice about this is because of its small, look how small the head is on that. You know, you can get this into tight areas, and a lot of times what I'll use this for is I'll use this for my small foam pads. I mean, look how small you can get. This is a 3-inch pad, this is a 4-inch pad, and these come in real handy. So right here on this thin panel, this is between the hood and the body line of the side of the fender, there's a thin panel. Look how this fits right in there, and it'll enable me to buff the panel without actually buffing on an edge. So it has a real handy feature that is lightweight, easy to control, put the small pads on it, and it's easy to get in there and buff those small, thin, long panels. Now, I'm going to turn one of these on, and I'm going to pick up a bead just to show you how you would use this product, this tool. Okay, we'll take some polish. And I'm going to do what's called picking up a bead. First, I'm going to put a bead of product right down here on the hood of the car, put my cord over my shoulder. You never want to sit here and drag that cord up and down on the paint. You might mar the paint. I'm going to turn this to the number 2, and on this here, that is 1500 RPM, so that's on the 2 setting. I'm going to pick up my bead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that up at 10 o'clock while the pad is at 10 o'clock, lay the pad down flat, and then I start working the product in. Now I've picked it up. It's just a matter of making slow, overlapping passes. And in the real world, if I was using this tool right now, I'd probably be trying to take out defects like swirl scratches or water spots. And that's how you use the Rotary Buffer. That's all for this edition. If you're interested in anything you've seen here today, visit Autogeek.net, and on the left-hand side, click on the text link that says Shop by Brand. To watch more of our videos, click on the Show Car Garage logo in the upper right-hand corner. If you have any questions at all, you can call us at 1-800-869-3011, where our friendly staff is always ready to answer your questions. And don't forget to swing by our fun and friendly discussion forum. That's where you'll find me answering questions and posting new how-to articles. I'm your host, Mike Phillips, and I'll see you on the next edition of Autogeek's Show Car Garage.